If your cold email rate is depressing, you are never going to land clients. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 3 best cold email subject lines to take your conversion rates to the next level. Hey, Megan here. For plenty of proven tips for making more money as a freelancer, click subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new content every Thursday. I followed so much terrible advice about cold emailing when I was first starting to use this as a method for client acquisition, but when I switched my method, the results were impossible to ignore. Now, almost all of my emails get opened. I know this because I track all of my cold emails using Streak, which is a very robust tool that I use for this one feature only, and that is to track when my emails are opened. Also, quick note, if you haven't gotten to cold emailing quite yet because you're having a really hard time sourcing leads, I've got a video on that. I've linked to it in the description below, so after you have finished this video, go check that one out. All right, let's get started. The first subject line format is down to business. This is the one I use the most, and it is very short, sweet, and to the point. Writing for business name. That's it. I put writing because I'm a writer, but obviously you plug in whatever service you are offering, whether it's social media for company name, graphic design for company name, web design, whatever. You might be rolling your eyes at me right now like, how is this groundbreaking? It's so casual and low-key that people aren't scared or hesitant to click on it. This is really important because with your cold emailing, the harder you try, the more it's going to look like you're trying really hard. So stay cool, stay calm, and keep it simple. Get down to business. The second format is the call to action subject line, the CTA. Whenever I feel like spicing things up a little bit, I will put a question in the subject line. Something like, quick call to discuss blogging this Thursday, quick call to discuss social media this Thursday, quick call for graphics. You get the idea. CTAs in the subject line work for the same reason that CTAs work everywhere else. They get the recipient to take action. If you want someone to do something, you literally have to tell them to do it. And when you do, the response rate overall is going to be much better. One word of caution about this, because someone did this to me one time and it just rubbed me in a way that I don't want to be rubbed. Someone emailed me with a CTA subject line one time, and after I responded favorably and I was like, yeah, sure, let's talk, they were like, okay, great, and then they sent me the link to their Calendly and asked me to schedule an appointment. By the way, if you are not sure what Calendly is, I've got a video on that and I've linked to it below. Basically, it's an online scheduler. You can send someone your personal link to your Calendly and they can choose from the appointment times that you have set as available, and they can schedule a call or a meeting with you or whatever. Great tool, but I really just didn't like the way the person handled this. Full disclosure, maybe this is just my personal opinion, but I was a little taken aback that they cold emailed me. They wanted to talk to me, and then they asked me to set up the appointment. No, you give me a few times, a few options, and then I'll pick one. All of this is to say that if you are going to use the CTA subject line format, you need to do the work for them. Don't cold email them and then ask them to do something. If they agree to a phone call, then you respond and you say something like, great, looking forward to it. Here are a few options. Which time works best for you? And then once they pick one, you send them a meeting invite. Don't make them do any work for you. In general, regardless of the subject line that you go with, your cold emails should always make it as easy on the recipient as possible. I will never forget that email. I never scheduled a call, by the way. That reminds me, what is the most memorable cold email you've ever gotten, whether it was awesome or terrible? I'm really curious, so drop me a comment and let me know. This is gonna get good. The third and final cold email subject line I want to share with you is collaboration. I write this as collab with company name or blogging collab with company name. Of course, as always, you would replace blogging with whatever service you are providing. What's cool about this subject line is that you are not approaching your lead asking for work. It comes across as a very different way of pitching your services because right away you are coming from the perspective of wanting to build a relationship that's mutually beneficial. That's what a collaboration is. You come together to achieve something. For my leads, as an example, I'm telling them, hey, I think that if we put our heads together and combine forces, we can create something really awesome for your brand. That something awesome, as I will explain in the email, is more website traffic, better keyword rankings, and more email subscribers. That's what my blog content offers. Creating a cold email subject line that works is a balance between being unique but remaining genuine. Remember that sending a cold email is not like sending an email to someone you already have a relationship with. In fact, it's the exact opposite. You are essentially a stranger coming around to sell them something. That's why for cold emails and their subject lines, I typically recommend that you stay away from adding emojis in the subject line, exclamation points, their first name. I would avoid trying to incorporate any sort of shock value or FOMO. Those things might work for other types of emailing where you already have a relationship with the recipient, but in my experience, in the ungodly number of emails I have sent at this point, those things don't work for cold emails. That being said, later on, once you're a little more established, if you want to test out different subject lines, do it. I always encourage you to test because you can't truly know if you have the perfect approach for you unless you compare it to other approaches. But right now, the goal is to land you clients quickly so you can start building up your revenue, your income. That means that you should rely on what has been proven. And the 3 cold email subject lines I've shared with you in this video are proven. Okay, great, now what? Copy these 3 subject lines and go use them for your own cold emails. Please, take them. But obviously, the subject line is just one piece of the puzzle. Once they open the email, then what? Guess what? I have more for you to copy. Yay! I put my 5 favorite cold email templates into one download that is now available for you online. Each template comes with a breakdown and an explanation of what the purpose is and why it works so well. All you have to do is copy the templates, plug in your own details, and send away. At this point, cold emailing is my main source of client acquisition. I would say it's my only source, but every now and then I still get clients through referral or word of mouth. But still, when I want to actively go out and land a client, cold emailing is what I do, and these 5 templates are what I use. The link for that download is also in the description below. As always, if you have any questions or requests for what you would like to see in future videos, just drop me a comment. If you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Check you later.